Well, the big difference to start with is that often a chef that has no interaction with the guest.
Right.
So a bartender is always in the spotlights and is very multitasking. But besides that, a bartender does the exact same. We look at drinks and foods and make a combination that we serve. A chef does the same. A big difference, obviously, we work with alcohol, which takes a little bit of responsibility and stuff like that into account. But besides that, everything I see food-wise, I can use in a cocktail. And nowadays, sky's the limit. We use the same techniques as chefs, some of like in the molecular kitchen.
Oh yeah, the molecular, yeah.
Yeah, we do that a lot, but also fat washing, smoking, stuff like that, where you can smoke a ham, but you can also smoke a cocktail. So there's a lot of similarities there. But
how can you smoke a cocktail? What?
So you have a smoking gun. Do you know the smoking gun that they use in chef? It's sort of, you put, let's say, sandalwood or applewood in a smoking gun. You light that. You put the smoking gun on that, and it sucks the wood starts burning. Yeah. And the smoke gets sucked into the smoking gun. There's a little hose. Yeah. And you put the cocktail. I'm taking a glass, but obviously the listeners can't see that. But still, you have the cocktail, and you put a sort of a glass globe on top, and you blow the smoke into the glass, and you keep it on there. Yeah. So you smoke the cocktail that way.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah, and if you want to do it, you can, this is how you do it at the bar. This is more for visual effect and for smell and stuff like that. But you can also have a vacuum seal bag, put the cocktail in there, smoke the wood, blow the smoke in there, close it, vacuum seal it, and maybe put it sous vide, infuse it, or just let it rest. And then you smoke it for an hour.
Wow.
So the cocktail gets the flavor of the smoke. And then you can use cinnamon, you can rosemary, you can use wood, you can anything dried that burns and tastes good.
And it should taste good.
you could use. So a chef and a bartender is very, very, there's a lot of similarities there. And
it reminds me of that you say, okay, normally the chef is not interacting with the customer directly. It reminds me of the Japanese type of restaurants, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, teppanyaki style, where the chef is literally cooking right in front of you, and performs a few tricks as well. So I thought, okay, this could be a bit more.
It's like that. It's like that, and I always, for me, bartending, and that's why. Another reason why I like that don't like the mixology term, because there's way more to it. I can make you an average drink, but create the best experience you've ever had. Fun, knowledgeable, great service, and you have a great night. You'll come back for that. Right. And you'll tell everybody. I can even make that mediocre drink taste amazing. Right. But if I have a great tasting drink, but there's no experience, and you sort of have a boring night, but with a great tasting drink, you'll go to another bar. Right. And often, and this is also what we did in the Men. We created an experience, and that experience is because if you would have had the same drinks, but it would have been in a very sterile atmosphere where we would have put the drinks through sort of a small open window. Right. Oh yeah. Like a vending machine. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't have had the same experience. Yeah, no. And this is where bartending becomes tricky, because it's not only about taste, knowledge, education. So you got to understand how you pair flavors and how you mix them, but it's also about being a great host. About being a fun personality, knowledgeable. I always train my bartenders to read the newspaper, to be able to talk about different things with the guest. And you have to do that 5 nights a week, no matter if you had a bad day, because then you're just rude. If you had a bad day as a bartender, you're not funny. Yeah. Let's say you come to me 3 nights in a row and you had the greatest night, and then the 4th night, well, I had a very tough day, plus 3, and I'm not as entertaining anymore. Plus, the guests are getting a little bit tipsy. It's crazy. It's 2:00 in the morning and you close and they don't want to leave. And then you still have to be that entertaining host. So that's sort of maybe the difference with the kitchen as well, because at the kitchen, if you have a grumpy day,
there's a bit more separation.
Yeah,
right.
But not in a teppanyaki restaurant.
But there, there was not much conversation going on when I was there. I was where was that? I think I was in Los Angeles at that moment. And then when I went to that type of restaurant, it was just a conversation between the like me and my friends, and the chef was cooking in front of us and was performing these tricks, but there wasn't really any type of, hey, how's your day going? And there was no bartender type of conversation. It was purely focused on the cooking that was going on in front of us and the tricks that were performed. But there wasn't much other deeper social interaction. So I would say, I think the bartender has a harder job there.
Yeah, or I think you have to be a certain personality to be able to be a bartender. And if you are that personality, it comes natural because you enjoy that. The problem is not 5 nights a week. Yeah, and that's where it becomes
That's when the
tricky.
work comes in.